today's lesson is choosing the best car. Choosing a car to buy will depend on your personal tastes and needs, and most importantly, on your budget, of course. Initial costs that need to be considered are registration, CTP, green slip insurance, car insurance, maintenance, repairs, and cost of fuel. If a loan is required to buy the car, then the fortnightly or monthly repayments also need to be included in your budget. Other essential factors that may influence your choice of car are the size of the motor, okay, 1.8 litre, 2 litre, 3.6 litre, the type of fuel the car uses, so petrol, diesel, LPG, hybrids. Fuel consumption, warranty periods for a car purchased from a dealership, security and safety features, whether to buy a new car or a used car. Okay, just for your interest, this is my car. It's quite old. I don't mind at all. I bought it more than 10 years ago and paid $16,000 up front, and it's a manual. So I think it was about $1,000 cheaper back then to get a manual. And I do once or twice a year service, depends on what I need. Example 9. Jasmine decides to buy a new car, and apart from the purchase price and on-road costs, she is allowing $6,500 per year for running costs. Jasmine borrows $25,000 over 3 years to pay for the car. Her fortnightly repayments are $355.77. How much will Jasmine have to budget for the car each week to the nearest dollar? How would you plan for your solution for this question?
You maybe put it in a table.
Yeah, table is good. And what would you put it on in your table?
Like the cost for everything.
Oh, yes. So you mean like total expenses, total costs?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's do that then. So if I put, how many columns do you want?
2 maybe.
I got 2 columns and 2 rows. So what do you want me to write on there?
The numbers.
So what are the numbers? What are the items and numbers?
The running costs and what she borrows and her repayments.
So running costs, well, how much is the running costs?
6500.
And then that is per year, right?
Yeah.
Per annum. And what about the loan repayment?
355.77 per fortnight.
Yeah, so I've just got per fortnight. Now, what do we need to do to add them all up? We got to do something before we can add all up.
You have to change one of them.
One
so
of them.
They're the same.
Which one? Which one would you change?
Maybe running costs, because then you make it smaller. Because don't we need to find the week? Or maybe not.
Yeah, sure. I think you're on the right track. So let's change it to running cost per annum into per week.
Or maybe you could just change the fortnight to a year and then divide by 52 at the end or something.
Okay, so I'm going to go divided by 52 weeks. Is it what you wanted?
Oh, yeah.
So what do we get?
125.
So that's a per week. Now, we need to change the loan repayments into per week, don't we? Is that right? Yep. Okay, so how am I going to change this $355.70 per fortnight into per week?
Divide 2.
Yep, divided by 2. Just halve it. And what do you get?
177.885.
The weekly budget, weekly expenses, will add up together equals
302.89.
You said to the nearest dollar, isn't it? So the answer is 303 per week. You can change the loan repayment into per year and then add them all together, running costs, and then divided by 52. Question 10. Samin bought a car for $39,044, which included on-road costs. Now, remember, on-road costs is like green slip, registration, stamp duty. If it was new, it's going to be included. If it's not, it's not. Samir paid 40% of the total of his car in cash and borrowed the rest at 8.5% per annum flat interest. So that's a simple interest over 4 years. So picture that. Think of it as you are Samin. This is the situation here. Part A. How much did Samin borrow? Rounded up to the nearest dollar. How would you plan your solution? It says paid 40% of the car price and then he borrowed the rest. So he paid 40%. What percentage he borrowed?
60%.
Correct. So how would you find how much did he borrow?
$39,044 times 60 over 100.
Yep, beautiful. You got calculator with you?
Yeah.
Calculate it for me.
23,426.
You're absolutely right. So remember, we rounded up the dollar. It'll be 23,427. If you have to borrow something, round it up. So the answer is 23,427. Part B. How much will he have to budget per week to cover the cost of repayments? So how would you plan your solution here?
Cost of repayment. So you're borrowing 23,427. So is that how much money you write down?
How do you budget per week with this?
Would you divide that by 52?
Okay, this is your principal, isn't it? If you borrow something, what do you have to pay extra?
Oh, wait, would you find 8.5% of that?
Yes, we need
by
to
4?
find. Okay, so I'm just going to write it here. The total repayments, right? Principal plus the interest on that money. Is that right?
Yeah.
So we got the principal, which is 23,427, but we don't have interest. We don't know how much interest it's going to be. So we need to find the interest. Is that right?
Yeah.
So guys, it's very, very important you plan your solution. What's the formula for the interest? PRN.
PRN, yeah.
What's a P?
23,427.
Yeah. And what's the R?
8.5%.
Yeah, so we don't write it 8.5. We write it in a decimal, don't we? So 8.5 divided by 100, what do you get?
0.085.
Excellent. And what's the N here?
4 years.
Correct. We'll put it all that in. $23,427, 0.085 times 4. What do you get?
$7,965.18.
Excellent. So now we got the interest. So we can calculate the total repayment. The principal, 23,427 plus the interest, $7,965.18. So what do you get?
$31,392.18.
Now, that's not the answer, is it? What is the question we have to find?
Budget per week. So then do you divide it by 52?
Excellent. So to be weekly budget for the repayment equals $31,392.18 divided by 52 weeks. So what do you get?
$603.70.
You're correct. $603.70. Okay. Is this a exercise 906? I know some of you said it was all okay when we're doing the examples, but when we started questions on the exercise, I couldn't understand. I can completely understand what's going on there. I'm just going to run through it with you. Now, question 1 and 4 are the example 9 and 10, so I'm not going to do that. So you can have a look at the examples for the guidance. Question 2, Olivia, how would you set your solution out just from this question?
I would figure out, how I would get the answer. For car 1, I would times the weekly running cost by 52. And then I'd add on 44,430.
Yep, so that you will find the weekly running cost turn into the yearly running cost.
Yeah.
And then you add the car price.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
good.
then I'd do the same with the second car and figure out which one's better.
Yeah, but only minor thing, it says over 5 years.
Oh,
so you
right, and then
probably have to
times it.
times by
Yeah,
5 on each
times
one, don't you? Yeah.
the
And then you
yearly one by
compare.
5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry, I think I just talk over you. Well, and I will do the exactly same thing. Question 3, Francesca, what is your plan for this question, for your solution? We have to find the fuel bills. That means money. There's 2 cars. Say car 1 is using the regular unlead. Car 2 is using LPG. How would you find the fuel cost bill for car 1 and car 2 for the 65 liters?
Do you time both of them by 65?
Yes. What do you have to be very careful about rate there? I'm looking at the unleaded one, 134.9 cents. And then LPG is 71.5 cents. And when we talk about bills, money, what is the units do we use? Do we use cents or dollars?
Oh, dollars, yeah.
So after you calculate that 65 litre times 134.9 cents and then 65 litre times 71.5 cents, you need to convert that into dollars, don't you?
Yeah.
How would you change that to cents to dollars?
Times 100?
Correct. So after you convert that for 65 litres, how much it's going to cost for car 1 and then car 2 with the 65 litres, you need to times by 100 to make it into dollars. And then you can find the difference, which is that you're taking it away. Question 5. Reducible loan means that interest is calculated on the balance owing rather than the initial amount owing. So as you pay back, your interest will go down. So you compare option A and B and you find the better one, which is less money for you, and then justify why. How would you plan for your solution? So people, if your focus is on a reducible loan at percentage interest, okay, wipe that out. Because if payment wasn't given to us, yes, you need to think about it and you need to calculate. But the payment is already set it for you. Option A is your monthly payment. Option B is your fortnightly payment. So don't get confused. I know option B looks smaller amount and you might think, oh yeah, that's a better option, but it's fortnightly. You're paying it more, okay? So if you want to compare, Peter, you need to have the same unit, same condition, same context. At the moment, option A and option B are not in the same context. So how are we going to make that into same setting?
Don't you have to change do I either change the fortnightly or the years? I don't know which one I'm supposed to.
Which one do you prefer? I think both are okay, to be honest. But easier one, if you ask me, I would change it to both of them into year.
Okay.
So with a monthly, how would you make that into 1 year?
Times by 12.
Yes, and then times by 4 will give us the 4 years, right? What about option B? What do you times by on the option B?
26.
Correct. And then don't forget to times by 3, right? Yeah. So that will give us the total amount that you have to pay for option A and option B. Is that right?
Yeah.
And then choose which option is better. And what will be the reason? It is cheaper. You don't have to write an essay on this. Obviously, you want the cheaper one, don't you?
Yeah.
Yes. When you look at the question, don't just get into a calculator and just look at the numbers. You need to plan. You have to plan. You look at the question and go, okay, how am I going to answer this question? What is the question asking me to do? Okay, that's your first question. Okay, question 6. Many car dealerships offer a 5-year warranty or 100,000 kilometers. What does this mean? I just want to give you a bit of a first start, if you like. So warranty is either for 5 years or the 100,000 kilometers. So for example, if your car covered, say, 100,000 kilometers in 3 years or 2 years or even 1 year, your warranty is finished. As soon as you reach that 100,000 kilometers, your warranty is done. They said 5 years because it looks good. But after 5 years, there's no warranty whether you reach the 100,000 kilometers or not. It can't be both. It's one or the other. And question 7 is optional. You don't have to do it if you don't need to or if you don't want to, because it's a research question. What is question asking me to answer? And how am I going to deliver that? What do I need? And all the information you need, it's in that question. Of course, you have to bring your pre-knowledge to your calculation, but all the information you need, initial information you need, it's from that question. So you have to ask questions to yourself and then plan and then answer it. All right, that's all for today's lesson. Well done, people.